Good morning, everyone. Our topic today is about managing the management team. Well, managing team is really hard, no, because we will be dealing with different kinds of people who have different kinds of perspectives. So, what is this all about? When we speak of managing a team of managers, of course, it requires a shift from operational oversight to strategic leadership. So, to discuss this further, I made a slide here. I'll be showing you the school planning and management team, or what we call the SPMT. So, when we speak of SPMT, it is all about the school planning and management team, and it is considered as the central organizing body of the school. So, based from this slide, it focused it focuses on its role as the central organizing body of the school. So, the school planning and management team is a cornerstone of the corner or the Comer School Development Program. It is designed to move school management away from top-down approach toward a collaborative, consensus-based model. It also serves as the primary engine for school-wide decision making and strategic planning. That's why school really have this kind of training in making planning. Okay, so it should be comprehensive enough so that it could develop and monitor a unified school improvement plan that address both, of course, academic and social emotional needs. In the school planning and management, we have to take note of course, the human capital. That's why we have to take care of the human capital, or I mean the human resources. Okay, we sometimes we create and design programs for our staff for their improvement. So we make staff development wherein we identify training needs not only for teachers, but of course for other staff of the schools and administrators, so as to ensure that they ensure things that they need, they should be trained so that they will be equipped to meet the school goals. Of course, as part of the planning, we have to take note of other resources like budget, or what we call the resource allocation. We're in coordinating how time, money, and personnel are used to best support student success. And another thing to understand is that, of course, in school, there are a lot of activities, and all activities should be planned. That's why they have this school calendar every year. And this school calendar actually is being submitted to if you're in the DepEd, to the Department of Education, DepEd, or also in CHED. No, so coordination of activities, ensuring that all school programs, from academics to extracurriculars, are aligned and not operating in silos. Okay, so let me share another slide with you. It says here the composition. So what is this? As I mentioned a while ago, the school planning and management team actually acts as the central organizing body of the school or of a school. And it is a primary purpose, or the primary purpose of this is to move away from isolated decision making and instead create a collaborative environment where all major school stakeholders have a voice in the school's direction. So all stakeholders. So we have also partners, no, in running the school because the SPMT is structured to be inclusive, ensuring that various segments of the school community are represented in the planning process. So we have there, we have to take note of the central leadership. Okay, if it's in the basic education, the one leading, of course, is the principal of the school. If it is in college or university, the one leading is the president, wherein the principal or the president serve as the core of the team. They're the one leading, facilitating, coordinating between all the departments. And here we have also to take note of the instructional staff. And who are these instructional staff? Who are these instructional staff? Of course, they are the teacher representatives, and also those who are assigned to be the area or the subject area or the department head. So department heads and subject area actually leads the school also, and they ensure that academic standards and classroom needs are prioritized. And of course, we also need other people in the operation in managing the school, and they are part of the team. We call them as the support staff, and they are under support services. Okay, so support staff representatives actually, guys, provide perspective on the operational and administrative functions of the school. They do help also in the improvement of the school. So, as I mentioned, we have the principal or the president as the leading, no, the one who take charge of the school. Then we have the heads or the subject area coordinators. Okay, so these are the, and teachers also. These are the instructional staff, and under the support services are the support staff. Okay, and another composition is what we call the community and students. Of course, when we talk about community, we need to partner with the outside people who would also help in the operation of the school. And this refers to those, of course, to parents. So both parents representatives and student representatives are included to ensure the needs of the families and the primary beneficiaries of education are met. Okay, that's why they're included now in this slide as part of the composition of the school. Okay, so I mentioned a while ago the central organizing body. So the core functions as a central organizing body, meaning to say, as the hub of the school management, the the SPMT, or we call it as School Planning Management Team, is responsible for several critical areas of school life. That's why if you observe before the beginning of the school year, okay, admin are being sent, or even teachers, professors, staff are being sent to attend such training like strategic planning, no, because they help in the operation of the school. So in the strategic planning, guys, here we create a comprehensive school improvement plan that aligns the school mission. Usually in the strategic planning, we do it, we make 5 year development plan for our strategic planning. But in other school, they also have 3 years. No, it depends. So take note of the strategic plannings, okay? Since planning is one of those functions of management, and that is also our subject, no, we're talking about management here. So take note of course, very important in running the school, we have to set rules, regulations, and policies to be implemented. Okay, so policy in coordination, coordinating various school activities and programs so they work together rather than in competition. So there should be collaboration, coordination from the different members of the team in the school, so that whatever objectives, they only have one directions, okay, or one direction. Okay, so that's important. Collaborative, coordinating, and collaboratively working to resolve such problems. So collaborative problem solving, meaning to say addressing systematic challenges by gathering input from the diverse representative listed in the compositional chart, which I am showing to you right now. Not only that, no, we're not only talking about coordination here, collaboratively working together, but they have to have this kind of accountability, because it's a shared accountability, guys, by involving our parents, teachers, and students. The team now ensures that the responsibility for student success is shared across the entire community. Okay, so let me move on to another slide. Here we have here the SPMT guiding principle. Again, let me repeat, what is this SPMT? It talks about the school planning and management team. Okay, so here it uses a distributed leadership model where the principal or the president sits at the center, because they're the one managing the school. They are their work, of course, is on the operational, how to run the school. So principal and president sits at the center of a collaborative web. So the team is composed of representatives, which I mentioned a while ago. I have shown you the different, okay, members of this team. Okay, and take note of the guiding principles. So while the specific principles are introduced in this slide, the structure of the team suggests a focus on consensus. So we have here, okay, let me share it. Okay, it focuses on the consensus. Okay, so what is this? It focuses on consensus building and collaborative or collective, I mean, accountability by involving parents, students, and staff. The school planning management team ensures that decisions are made transparently and with broad support. Okay, so I hope this one is clear. So we have there, of course, when they do the planning, they have to brainstorm. After brainstorming, there will be an in-depth discussion on what to do based from the shared ideas of the team. And then they have to cross fertilization of these ideas and different solutions. Okay? Finding solutions if ever there will be problem along the way. Okay? So SPMT guiding principles typically associated with this kind of model such as no fault, problem solving, or consensus decision making. Okay, so next we have collaboration. Okay, so what is this collaboration? Since I mentioned, let me go back for the consensus. Since I mentioned about no fault problem solving, the process here focuses on finding, of course, solutions rather than blaming individuals for past failures. Since there is that consensus, another focus is it should be holistic. I mean, it links academic growth with the social and emotional development of students, and each of them should have or should own the decision. That's why it should be shared ownership by including our parents, students, the entire community becomes accountable for the school success. Okay, then we have here collaboration. Okay, so what is this collaboration all about? When we speak of collaboration, they have to share. Okay, they have to collaborate. So through collaboration within the team is achieved within the three, actually, within three specific mindset intersect. When there is collaboration, as you can see in this slide, it says there respect for other points of view. So therefore, when you respect, you have to value each other. So valuing the points of view of other team members. And then we have here willingness to work cooperatively, having a sincere desire. When we speak of willingness to work cooperatively, it's having a sincere desire to work cooperatively with others and accept equal responsibility for whatever changes. So there is that acceptance. So accountability is accepting equal responsibility for the changes and outcome decided by the team. Okay? And then let's proceed with the other slide. Okay? Let me share it with you here. It says here school planning and management team responsibilities, writing the comprehensive school development plan, staff development, and monitoring assessment. Okay? So here we have writing comprehensive school development plan. So they have to create and design development plan. So writing the comprehensive school development plan, okay, they have to incorporate here professional growth, managing staff development initiatives, and then take note uh, the continuous monitoring and assessment of school progress. That's why we have their monitoring and assessment to ensure, of course, quality and standards. Okay, planning the annual school calendar, as I mentioned before, okay, in this video to integrate academic, social, and staff development functions as well as the parent teachers associations events here or the PTA events, establishing of course policy guidelines for school programs and addressing school issues directly or through subcommittees. So take note of all of this one. It's very important to have such consensus, collaboration, and of course accountability. Next slide is that we have here other responsibilities. Okay, it says here planning the annual school calendar that integrates social, academic, and staff development functions, as well as all PTO or PTA dates and major system events and activities, establishing policy guidelines for school programs. Okay, so the consensus process. So here, this is a cyclical method involving, if you notice from the latter, okay, the previous slide that I have presented, no, in about consensus. We've talked about their brainstorming, in-depth discussion, and cross-fertilization of ideas to find the best solution. This is under consensus process, okay? And there should be meaningful collaboration for each of the members of the team, okay? For them to achieve whatever goals, objectives, or whatever targets they have in school. So they have to, of course, set policy guidelines for the school programs. Okay. And then, so we have here, okay, I mentioned that one already. Let me move on to the guidelines. So there was already the consensus. Next slide will be, okay, wait. Next slide will be about, okay, here. Where is that? Okay, wait for a while, guys. Okay. Other responsibilities. Okay, let me share. Operational expectation of the school planning management team. Okay. So we have here, says there, you have to conduct regular meetings at least once a month so that you could check what's happening. And this should be recorded, of course, properly documented, no? Okay, there should be minutes of the meeting so that for the next meeting, you will be reading again the minutes to know if the activities has been implemented. So the meeting is convened and led by the chairperson who is the principal or the school director or the dean. So the school planning management team has a clearly established set of standard operating procedures. It's very important to meet your people. It should be formal, no? When you have, if you're going to conduct a meeting, it should be a formal meeting, no? It should be in a place or in an office, and it should be properly recorded. There should be minutes, no? We do not just hold meetings anywhere, okay? Unless you will just be announcing something. If it's just an announcement, it could be outside. You could just tell it to the person concerned. But if you will be holding a meeting, It should be more formal because you will be, of course, you have to make records on this, okay, through the minutes. Okay, so operating procedure, a structured problem approach used to address school problems. Usually, if there are problems, that's the proper venue, guys. No, in holding a meeting, you could already ask your team if they have problems, and from that meeting, they could share it to you, and the team may share their ideas in resolving whatever the problem. They could share their ideas on it. So an SPMT meeting is characterized by straight, descriptive talk that is non-judgmental. Okay, that's the reason why we're holding a meeting. It's not we're not holding a meeting because we would just like to boost ourselves, but we are holding a meeting or we are conducting a meeting so that the team know what's happening inside the school, and if they could share their ideas about it, well and good. No, at least they're part of the solution. The solution, guys, and not the problem. Okay, so participants do not hedge in identifying problems but work creatively to solve them. Okay, so the SPMT consists of representatives of every constituent group within the school community. Another, the SPMT agenda is developed by the chairperson with input from the members of the SPMT and various subcommittees. And then we have the last one, maybe, I don't know, but I'll just be reading to you. Planning and decision making for all activities is in the school are funneled through the SPMT process. The SPMT is not an add on. Instead, it coordinates and integrates all activities of the school. So it's very important that all the members of the team in the school know what's happening in the school so that they have the idea, okay? Because it's not only one man rule if we are in a school. It's a collaborative work of a team, okay? That's not rule only by one man, but we have to, as a leader, we also need to delegate other people to help us in the operation. Okay, so SPMT representatives bring their constituents' input to the table and report back to them following meetings. That's why we have the minutes of the meeting. There is time within the school week appropriated for this. Usually, no, when I was an admin, I just would like to share it with you. I am conducting my meeting twice a month. There is really that specific day in conducting a meeting. Usually it's on a Friday wherein teachers or my professors are not that busy because they should be part of the planning. So the SPMT establishes standing subcommittees on curriculum and instruction, social climate, public relations, and staff development, and creates others as needed. Okay? Here, says here, the SPMT also develops a comprehensive school development plan. So there should be school development plan, and this should be discussed to all the members of the team. They should know this one. Why? Because if the accreditation come, they know what to answer. They know the plan. So for the following school year, so the comprehensive school development plan addresses climate, academic, and staff development goals. The SPMT determines the ethos and the tone of relationship within the school. Okay, so next one is here. We have here leadership functions in the team management. So what is this leadership functions in the team management? We have there teamwork involves continual exploration and reformation or reformulation of problems and solution. Okay? So take note guys, no? It says there teamwork. So you need people to work with you if you are the head, okay? Because it's teamwork. It involves the continual exploration, meaning to say you have to improve again and again. Okay, whatever plans you have, whatever planning that you have to look into again for reformulation of the problems and solutions. If there are problems and problems that you were able to face, find out solutions to that one. Okay. Next, we have provision for appropriate methodological assistance as needed by the team. So make sure if you were able to identify the problem in the school, make sure that you were able to help to assist your team, especially those team that needed the most of your help. Okay? So effective team management, guys, requires the explicit formulation of objectives to increase team cohesion. And leaders are expected to provide methodological assistance, continually explore and reformulate problems and coordinate members' resources. That's why we have number 3 there. Team leadership involves the discovery and coordination of team members. Okay? And then we have this one. Explicit formulation of objectives increases team cohesion and member involvement with the mission of the organization, and provision of a clear policies and procedures reduces uncertainty. So if policies really are in there, they know, your people know, your staff, your teachers know the policies are clear enough, regulations are clear enough, no, there will be no problem because whatever they have in mind, if they have questions, these are answered. Okay, there should be proper orientation also before the beginning of the school year, so that it would be clear to them what are these policies, what are the regulations that they have to abide before such implementation. So policies, regulations should be clear to all the members of the school community so that they may not, of course, violate such policies and regulation. They are properly guided with this. It's clear enough if it is clear enough. So these guides to action, however, should be kept flexible. Okay? So, and then there should be close coordination. Okay? Close coordination is a necessary condition for effective team management functioning. So as a leader, you have to monitor, you have to assess, you need to coordinate with your people so that you'll have a common direction in achieving whatever goals, objectives, targets that you have in your school. Okay? Otherwise, if of course rules and policies are not clear, okay, problems will arise. Why? Because people will have this kind of questions in mind and they do not know what to do. They are not being guided. Okay, that's why policies, regulations should be clear enough to all. It should be black and white, and it should be posted. Okay, people or the staff should also have a copy of that so that they know what to do, and they will be properly guided if they know what the rules and regulations of the school. Okay, so that is part of the planning actually, guys. So I've discussed now. I have discussed managing the management team. It's really hard, guys, to manage people who have different perspective. But if you know a lot of ideas, strategies of how to handle people, it would be very easy for you to connect with them, to engage with them, to because as a leader, you should also be a risk taker. Okay, not only a risk taker, but you should also be a motivator, someone who could inspire them in their work. You'll be the one to lead them if you're the leader. You should be the role model of everything, okay? So that they will be properly guided. Now, if you are not that kind of leader, how can you guide them? No, if you don't have this kind of skill, no, being a leader, you have to have different kinds of skills. Decision is making is very important here. So that's all, guys. I hope you learned something from our topic today, managing the management team. And I incorporated the school planning and management team, which is the SVM. Okay. Bye, everyone. Tapos.